I see apples in our future and bacon and onion.
Okay, y'all. Good afternoon. We're on here a little bit later today. Roy had PT this morning. We did a couple of things in town. And so we're just a little late doing our video, but that's okay. We usually do it in the mornings because I'm fresh in the mornings and I like to get up and get started. I'm a morning person. Roy, not so much. But all this week we have lots of doctor's appointments and different things. So, but today I had a viewer yesterday ask me if I would do a Brussels sprout video. I'm using a frozen Brussels sprouts, and this is a 12-ounce bag right here. I think you can get them in the 1-pound bags, but I just use frozen for this. You can use fresh, you just have to cook them longer. I'm gonna put mine down in boiling water, leave them 3 minutes, then I'm gonna take them out. But if you're doing fresh ones, you have to cook them longer. I just usually grab a bag of frozen ones when I do this recipe. So that's what I have, these in the freezer, and so I'm using them. Okay, and they are steamable, so I could have done them in the microwave, but when I do this particular recipe, I like to do it the way I've always done it, in a saucepan. So I've got about probably, that was a 12-ounce pack of bacon. I've got about 8 ounces here that I have cut in bite-sized pieces. Now, this is an apple and a Brussels sprout recipe. And I call it my candied apple bacon Brussels sprouts. And it is delicious, but it doesn't have any sugar in it. It is absolutely delicious. I take it to church sometimes, and everybody there, even if you don't like Brussels sprouts, you'll like this one. It's got onions and bacon, apples. I've got some sugar-free maple syrup out here. I've got a little of my autumn spice blend. I've got some brown sugar. Now this is really, really dark brown. It is a stevia Splenda combination here, and I order it from Amazon, and I've got a few nuts. So salt and pepper. This is delicious. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put my bacon, because I'm gonna cook my bacon till it's crisp. So I'm gonna go ahead and, looking for my tongs, I'm gonna go ahead and cook my bacon, because I want to render all the fat out to where it's real crispy. And after it cooks a little while, then I'm gonna put my onions in with my bacon. This is so good. Even if you don't like Brussels sprouts, I think you'll like this one, because you taste a lot of the bacon and the apple and the bacon, the apple, and the onions. It's just a really, really good blend. So I'm not going to chop these. I'm just going to cut them in slices like this, because I don't want to chop really fine. Cut that root part off. Throw it away. This is just part of 2 onions that I had in the fridge. So that's what I'm using today. Now if it's a really big onion, you can cut it in half. But this one wasn't so big, so, and I'm not putting a whole onion. This is about the equivalent of a half of an onion. Okay. So I'll put it in there so you can see about how much it is. Just about a half of a medium onion. And when you get a piece like that, just cut it in 2, because you don't want any big slices in it. I just kind of want it in little strips like that. Okay. Alright, now I've got 1 onion cut here. I'm only going to do 2 onions since I only have 12 ounces.
Apples?
Well, of course it's an apple. I tell y'all, Roy has to keep me straight, especially when my mind is going on what's back here and what I'm going to do next and what I'm about to do. So, our apples. This is like I think this is a Evercrisp or Cosmic Crisp, something like that. Now, y'all, this, my little great-grandson, Kale, y'all know he's on here with me a lot. He and his mom went to LJ or Blue Ridge, went up in the mountains. Anyway, her grandparents have a summer home up there, and so they went up there to visit, and they went apple picking. If you've ever heard of Mercier's, it's an apple orchard, and you can buy baked goods there and different things. Well, he brought me back some apples that he picked himself. So these are special apples, y'all. So he went out and he picked them himself. So,
They're especially good too.
oh, they're especially good. If you've never had an apple picked off of a tree, oh my. I mean, all apples are picked off the tree, but if you've never gone out and picked an apple off of the tree and eaten it, man, that's a whole different world. So I'm just going to cut them in slices. That's the reason I wanted my onions kind of in slices, is because my apples. And they're about like that. If you can see, that's about the width of them right there. And this is 2 apples. It's according to the size of your apple as to what, how many you want to use. Because this is about, the ratio to apple and Brussels sprout is about half and half. Use about as many apples as you do, because these are going to shrink when you cook them, as you do Brussels sprouts. I got 3 apples out, but I'm not going to use them all. Now, if you cut these up pretty much a good bit ahead of time, put some lemon juice over them, or you can put them in water and with a little lemon juice in it. But I'm not going to let these sit very long, so I'm not going to do that. All right, my bacon is about ready to put my onions in. All right, oh, I forgot to turn the light on.
Beginning to smell, Grandmama.
I know, I put my onions in when my bacon got about half done. I put my onions in. And when my bacon and onions get ready done, then I'm going to put my apples in. I'm going to turn my burner on high here. Now, I've got a good bit of water in here because I want to just, when I drop my Brussels sprouts, I want it boiling really good, and then I'm going to leave 3 minutes, and then I'm going to take them out, and then by that time, hopefully, my apples and everything, my onions and peppers, bacon will be ready. And I'm going to season this first with my seasonings and everything. And the last thing we're going to do is put our Brussels sprouts in there. Stir it up. Rose, you need to slow down. I don't know why I'm on high speed. But anyway, so I'm going to put about a half a teaspoon of salt. I'm not going to put any black pepper. I got it out, but I'm not going to put any. I'm going to let this come to a rolling boil. And then I'm going to drop my Brussels sprouts. But we'll be back and I'll show you that. But I'm just going to let my bacon and onions render out and cook. Okay. Our apples and our bacon and our onions are done. I want y'all to look at that.
Oh, looks like I could eat that.
I know. I'm going to leave those few onions in there. And I didn't want I wanted to, my onions and my bacon to kind of crisp, but I wanted them to kind of stay that way. So I'm going to just take them. I just took them out, and I'm going to cook my apples. Now, if your bacon has lots of fat in it, drain some of it off. Mine didn't have that much. So there was probably 1 tablespoon, maybe 2 of fat in there, and I just left it. Okay? Now, and where my bacon and onions were cooking, some of the little sediments got on my apples, but listen.
Oh, that's going to be gooder.
Yes, that is what you want.
Gooder and gooder.
It is. All right, and since these apples are really thin, it's not going to take them long to cook, but I am going to put a lid on them and probably 5 or 6 minutes, because you don't want them mushy. You don't want them left a little bit, not crunchy, but just a little al dente. So we're going to let these cook about 5 minutes. My water is almost about to boil. So, I'm gonna let it get to a rolling boil, because my Brussels sprouts are frozen and I don't want them to cool my water down too much. So give me another couple of minutes. All right, y'all. I put 1 tablespoon of my dark brown, and it's gotten really, really dark because it's been sitting over there. I haven't used it in a few weeks. So it was dark brown anyway, but it's really got a little moisture in it, which is perfectly fine because it's gonna melt. All right, and I'm gonna put 2 tablespoons of my
The dogs thought somebody was at the door.
They did. I'm babysitting Ella. That's Promise, my 13-year-old granddaughter's little schnauzer. And she can, when she gets to bark and she thinks somebody's at that door, she can bark. Between her and Roxy, that was 1/2 teaspoon of my autumn blend. And I put this on a recipe the other day. When I did a recipe using it, when I did my, what was it? I made something I used.
That was when you did the pumpkin
yes.
waffles.
Oh, the pumpkin waffles, yes.
So go back about 4 videos
And
ago.
I did pumpkin waffles with a pumpkin spice cream cheese. Oh, y'all got to go check that one out. All right. So, I got my spice. I've got my stevia Splenda blend. I've got my sugar-free maple syrup. I'm going to put the lid on this. I'm going to let it cook until my apples get as done as I want them. Can you see that, honey? That rolling boil?
Yep, that's hot water.
That's hot water. All right. I'm going to put my Brussels sprouts in there. And I'm going to put it on, I'm going to put it on 4 minutes because I want it to come back up to a rolling boil. And I want to boil them for 3 minutes, and that'll take probably a minute. So, I got my Brussels sprouts on, I got my apples cooking, and this is just about to come together. So, give me 3 or 4 minutes, and we're going to put this together. My goodness.
You like that, do you?
Wow, look at this. Now, you talk about, ooh, that would be delicious right now. Oh, my. All right, I'm putting my bacon and my onion, and my Brussels sprouts have 28 seconds. Y'all, this takes 30 minutes. About 30 minutes. All right, I'm going to take the lid off my Brussels sprouts. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off because they only like a few seconds. Now, I'm going to pull this over here, drain your water. Now, if you want to cut your Brussels sprouts in half, you can, but I don't need to do that. And you could even use 1 pound of Brussels sprouts or 1 pound bag if you want to. I just think this makes just the perfect mix right here. All right, now I'm going to let my Brussels sprouts, they're done, but they're not mushy. They're not all to pieces. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let them kind of caramelize in some of this apple, bacon, and onion mix down in there. I'm going to let my Brussels sprouts kind of caramelize like my apples do. And this is going to be delicious, y'all. I'm telling you, this is a wonderful. I think I'm going to taste of it. I'm going to top it with nuts, pecans, walnuts, whatever you want to use. I think I'm going to taste of it, make sure I've got enough
Maple.
maple and enough of my spice in it. So I think I'll taste
Yeah, I like that maple spicy flavor.
one of these. I think I'll taste the one. Oh, look at that apple. Y'all, look at that apple. Now, you talk about flavor. It's going to be hot. That's perfect. I mean, perfect. Okay. I'll let my Brussels sprouts, I'm going to put them down in the bottom so they can caramelize.
But if they like a real strong maple syrup flavor, they can add more. Yeah.
Yeah,
You can even add it after you get it to the table.
But this is the perfect, you wouldn't want to do that. This is the perfect sweetness. Okay. I turned it up to 8. I'm going to stand here and watch it because I don't want it to burn, but I do want those Brussels sprouts to get a little caramelization on them, which won't take long. The dish is done now. I just like my Brussels sprouts to have that little brownness to them.
Ooh, Grandma,
Y'all,
that does look good.
I am telling you right now. Look, you see
Slightly
that,
caramelized.
You see that caramelization on that Brussels sprout? Those apples are caramelized. Those onions, the bacon is perfect. I'm telling y'all, this is a dish that you will want to try.
Ooh, roast pork or fried pork chops or pan-fried pork chops.
Well, it's going on my Thanksgiving table.
Wow.
This one and that recipe I made the other day, that layered broccoli and chicken, is going on my Thanksgiving table too. I'm telling you, I've done some really good recipes lately. So if y'all haven't checked them out, please go back to my 5 or 6 last videos that I've put on, because they have really been good. I mean, really good. All right. Whew. Look at these apples.
Yeah, you've got
onions.
breakfast waffles in there.
I do. Yep. And somebody wanted me to do something with apples. Well, they asked me to do the Brussels sprouts, and I said, well, I'll kill two birds with one stone, and I'll do apples and Brussels sprouts. And I've been making this for years, y'all.
Got some roasted pecans here?
I have. I'm going to put, this is roasted pecans. You can use walnuts if you want to. So I'm going to sprinkle a few on top.
Oh my goodness.
Like that.
That has holidays written all over
I'm
it.
telling you. Now this is one more delicious dish. So our light went out on our little tripod a while ago. So it's not going to be as bright as it would have. But y'all, this is so good. This is really, really, you will want to make this one. Oh, and I was going to tell you, and I bought some keto bread. I am going to do an apple keto French toast. So, and I'll probably do that, well, tomorrow's Saturday. I may not do that till the first of the week. But I did want to show y'all how to make this. So, you just want me to taste of it, honey? Or you want,
Sure.
You want to taste?
No, you can taste it.
Okay, let me get a fork. Okay. Well, I already know how it's going to taste. Oh my goodness. I want to get a piece of apple. And I want a Brussels sprout. Whew, I got some bacon and onion. Y'all. I should have. Excuse me.
You got caught with your mouth full, didn't you?
I should have cut that Brussels sprout in half. But leave them whole. because it makes such a pretty dish. If you use the frozen ones, when you cut them in half, they kind of want to come apart. So use the whole ones.
You cut them at the table.
You cut them, yeah.
At your
Because
plate.
you're going to have a knife at your table anyway. So.
That is such a beautiful Thanksgiving dish.
Isn't that pretty?
Anytime, but man.
All right, y'all. Food feeds the family. Family feeds the heart. God feeds the soul. Put deliciousness back in healthy food. Now this is healthy. No sugar, gluten-free.
Low carb
Low
load.
carb load. Delicious. So.
The low glycemic load of the apple is very low. Under 5.
Oh yeah, yeah. And so I'm going to be doing another video here in a little bit. So we'll see y'all in a little bit.